Namaste, everybody. We are now in the 21st part of the series, in which we are going to discuss a very important verse that is just solving all the problems around dating of the Mahabharata war. I have titled it as A Comet Stood on Pushya Day. Let us see why I gave such kind of a title. Let's see the sequence of events also where this appears. Krishna started from Upaplavya on a peace mission on Kartika Shukla Dwadashi, which was a Revati day, which we have already discussed. He reached Hastinapura the next day, that was an Ashwini day. Then there were nimittas on the way, which we discussed earlier. Then after that, the Paurnami day occurred. It was not mentioned in the Mahabharata text, but naturally, after he reached on Ashwini, then Bharani Kritika. The Kritika, Kartika, Paurnami should have happened then. There is no hint of any eclipse on that day, but almost all the researchers were saying that there was an eclipse. They talk about triple eclipses, of which the first eclipse is this, but there is no mention of an eclipse. Elsewhere it is told, but they could not identify there, so they just picked up this Paurnami as an eclipse day, which is not true. Please remember, whenever you are listening to the versions of other researchers or reading their books, please ask them, where is the evidence for an eclipse on Kartika Paurnami when Krishna reached Hastinapura? And then after that, it was a Krishna Paksha, waning phase of Kartika on the Pushya day after Ashwini. Then each day, Krishna was having a discussion in the royal court, and the discussions did not give any positive result. He asked for 5 gramas for the Pandavas, for which Duryodhana did not agree with. And then, in a fist of anger, on the day of Pushya, he said that I am going to make Bhishma the commander, and we are going on war with the Pandavas. That was the 8th day after Krishna reached Hastinapura. And he said this. His friends were all, or the kings were all assembled there in the court. They brought their armies also already. He told them, today is Pushya, kept on saying, today is Pushyamiti. So today is an auspicious day. Let us start the war. Let's make our Bhishma as the commander-in-chief, and then let's march towards Kurukshetra for the war. He said that. And then what happened? On he was made a commander-in-chief. That is all the rituals have happened, it seems. Because at the end of those rituals, these rituals are mentioned in Brihad Samhita. That is, there is something called Indradvaja. That is, the Dvaja of the entire army will be held on that day. And then all puja will be done. The commander-in-chief will be given a sacred bath. At that time, they will look for some nimittas, auspicious omens. But unfortunately, there were bad nimittas heard. Most of them have heard. Like meteors were falling, big sound, and then unusual rains, and then bloody rains. All those were unusual events were all mentioned at this time. So what happened? One of the nimittas told by Vyasa later to Dhritarashtra, but which fits with here is because he mentions the Pushya Nakshatra here. Okay, Bhishma was made the commander-in-chief on a Pushya Nakshatra. Vyasa also says, even though he said later, like after this event was over, he said, Dhumakedur Mahagora Pushyam Makramya Tishtati. This was on the day of Pushya, a Dhumaketu, something happened. So the ceremony seemed to have botched up because it's a bad omen. Let's see the meaning of that verse. Nobody had done that, I'll tell you that. People have either taken up somebody else's meaning or just assumed some meaning. This being the crucial verse, let's do a word by word meaning of that. Dhumakedur, comet. Mahaghora, terrible, very terrible. Pushyam, it is a second vibhakti, the star Pushya. And then Akramya, that is, it has attacked or seized. Tishtati, the word is Tishtati. It just stands. So the meaning, exact meaning that you can give is the way very terrible comet stands having seized the star Pushya. So there must have been a comet seen by the people in the sky until then. On the day of Pushya, it stood on Pushya. What does it mean? So what happened to the comet? So it stood on Pushya means the next day they couldn't see the comet. Does it mean it went missing on the Pushya day? Until Pushya day, they had seen the comet. The next day, they couldn't see. So was that written as the comet stood on Pushya? The question comes. But anyway, let's see the day. The day we have Krishna Paksha and then Pushya Nakshatra. The date can be simulated. It was Kartika Krishna Shashti. The corresponding Gregorian date was 2nd September 3136 BCE. A further sequence we'll see. The peace mission failed. Nothing because Duryodhana declared we are going for a war. And Krishna met Karna on Uttara Phalguni day, which is the 5th day from Pushya when a comet stood. That is, within these 5 days, something had happened. Karna mentioned nimitta-s, including 5 odd planetary nimitta-s seen in the 5 days to Krishna at that time. This is the first batch of nimitta-s, not only planetary. There are terrestrial nimitta-s, and there are atmospheric nimitta-s, and then planetary nimitta-s. As told by Brihad Samhita. Brihad Samhita recognizes all these three. All these three must be there to predict an event, because a nimitta is supposed to give a bad event, to predict it. So some 5 odd nimittas were told by Karna on that day. All of them are Ganesha moments. All of them require some extraordinary thinking, extraordinary analysis using the pramanas. What are they? Let us discuss them one by one in the upcoming parts. With that, we are coming to the end of part 21. Before leaving, I just request you to share this important video with all your friends. Bye-bye.